In case you've not subscribed, this is your channel to watch anytime here on Control TV. Just you can do so very quickly, but listen to this.
Well, I'm by name Daramola Ekudayo, the principal of the school.
Okay. Share with us exactly what happened this morning.
Well, it is so pathetic, so unfortunate, and so heartbreaking. It's so pathetic, so unfortunate, and so heartbreaking. I was actually in the office when I was called upon that the building is collapsing. Tension that such things will happen. So it's so unfortunate that it happened. It actually happened around 11 o'clock. Let's just say past 11 when the shock news actually came.
Okay, so when it happened, what did you do immediately?
When it actually happened.
No, continue. Okay. Don't look at us.
Now, when it happened, I was actually not there. So the moment I was alerted, I ran. So I came. Let me even see what exactly happened. But you know, of course, at that particular time, the momentum was not even there. So I was shattered and battered from every side. So I wasn't not just myself. As a matter of fact, I was crying.
This happened in just yesterday, and a lot of people are being disturbed. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are traumatized by this building collapse of a secondary school that happened in the Busabuji area in Jos, the Plateau State capital. I have lived in Jos for over 28 years. So to talk about the properties there, just the Plateau State capital, it's topographically, it has got those hills and a lot of rainfall happens there. So number one, for that school to be situated just by the riverbank is a problem. It's a big problem. It's a red card for parents to see that no, we cannot have a school in such a position. Now, what has happened to the building laws of Plateau State? Why was that school accredited or given the permission to build in such a place? You see, we keep going back and forth with respect to building laws state by state. It happens in Lagos State also, but let's focus on this one because 17 children died. A particular family had 4 children that died in that very collapsed secondary school. This is just totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. What will the parents say now? We took our children to get an education, but instead we got death. How can they be consoled for simple mistakes that are made? Why should the school be situated in a place like that? Why would the state government accredit a school to be in such a location where you know that there could be problems? There are floods happen. Just forget that Jos is on a hill and any rainfall will trickle down, but this school is at the point where the waters trickle down to when they run downhill. So how can those kind of structures be compromised over time? And they complained about the substandard building materials that are being used. That is another headache. The kinds of materials that are brought into this country for use. The Standards Organization of Nigeria must live up to its own responsibility to ensure that only the best kind of iron rods, come into this country. We still have the Ajakuta steel rolling mill. It's still moribund at that point. We're hoping that the minister will be able to, revive it so that we begin to produce our own locally made strong irons that can withstand any building that you want to build. But buildings must be built to specification. There are rules, there are regulations. They have a body in Nigeria that supersedes every building structure, and they've got state chapters. So why would this school be allowed to have such? It's not just a block of flats. It's about 2 or 3 story building, and we're going to put children there. Now, the last we heard from the Commissioner for Information in Plateau State is that children have been taken to Ola Hospital, been taken to the specialist hospital. They have been taken to some other hospitals. There are conflicting figures on what the death toll is exactly, but on the brightest note is that we had these the State Emergency Management Agency, the Red Cross, all of those people moved in as quickly as possible to try to, get survivors out of those rubble that happened. It's just so sad, so unfortunate. But these are the realities that we face now. Things happen, and it becomes such a headache to get it fixed. What will the parents do? Those schools, number one, it's been compromised. They have to bring it down. Number two is that it's not the only school or only structure that is facing this kind of difficulty or this kind of challenge. There are other ones, definitely other ones. If you have lived in Jos, if you have lived in Busabuji area, especially areas like maybe Wikos or areas like Duse, Uku, all those areas, the kind of structures that are there, old, dilapidated, these ones, they ought to be checked as well, just to avert this kind of incident from happening again. But that's the much that we know. We are only going to tell people and tell parents that please be very, very conscious of the kind of school that you send your children. It's not only about the education that they should go and get. You should also watch out for the kind of structures that the children, especially if there's a high-rise building or a story building, a block of flats mounted on top of each other. We must be extremely careful where we send our children to. A school that is built by the riverside must be checked properly with the authorities to ensure that yes, it is okay to have our children inside those kind of schools. It is okay to even build that school in the first place in such an area, and then the integrity test must be done by the engineers themselves at every level. They must be tested, samples taken to the laboratory to ensure that okay, now you have gotten to this level, the next level you will have permission, state by state permissions or approvals for building such a building that will house especially children. This could have happened to other structures like what you have as the state secretariat in Jos or even the federal secretariat in Jos. It could happen. But it didn't happen there because back then we had got prudent, people with humane thoughts in them. The systems work. When systems collapse, that is when you have this kind of situations that will arise. So we must introspect. What has happened in Jos shouldn't happen again. It is happening in Lagos. As a matter of fact, just a story building just fell just last week, and then the Lasema boss, Mr. Otsointolu, will have to be the one to always rally around, get the rescue equipment, move to site, and all. It happens every now and then. But for how long? How long will we continue to build houses that don't meet specific standards, required standards? And then at the end, people are wailing, crying. This has happened. People have died. People are continuing to die. But can we avert this? Can we stop this as a people? Thank you.